Hi there, my name is Jacqueline Rose, and I do not think it's a coincidence that you clicked on my page. I think you're meant to be here. This is a channel that I talk about my journey of my spiritual awakening, the law of attraction, spirituality, and so on. I just share my stories of my life, hoping that somebody will resonate with it. My intentions here are always pure and just to guide people along their journey of this wonderful game that we call life. So I picked up something this morning, an example, because I analyze everything. So there's this thing going on. I don't even know why it's going on, but I see it on Facebook of how old they are. Like I'm from Austin, so there's different places in Austin that are no longer around. So you would be like, I am dropped off at North Cross Mall to go ice skating and hit up the Tilt video game area old, meaning that's how long you've been around. And I've been seeing a lot of this floating around social media. So I was asking somebody about this and if they'd heard of it, and they said no. And I started to say, so there was a restaurant that I used to go to when I was younger, Black Eyed Peas. And I said, I'm Black Eyed Peas, old for lunch, hitting up Highland Mall and going to Bob Popular's old. So if you're from Austin, you'll fucking understand exactly what I'm saying about, especially if you're in my age group. But and the person I was talking about said it's called the Black Eyed Peas. And I go, oh, really? My mom always called it Black Eyed Peas. And I was like, I never knew that. And he goes, well, you're old enough to be able to read. And I was like, oh, I was, 10 years old when this restaurant was around, I just didn't know that was the name of the restaurant. And then I started to thought, like, what positivity is that? What does that add value into somebody's life? It's just, for some reason, you basically, in a roundabout way, are saying, you could read. Why didn't you know the name of this? And I was like, this wasn't even a conversation about that. I'm just trying to have a conversation about what's going on the internet. Why are we bringing this up? Why is it going back to like, I knew how to read and stuff? And so I quickly was like, well, that's not what I was trying to say. Like, why are we even going into this? And it stopped. But I also was able to step back and analyze it for a minute. This certain person has, I believe, from what I can see on the outside, has learned over the years by things that they have picked up, because I see other people in their family that do something that's similar, is by putting somebody else down makes them feel smarter. And they unconsciously do this to other people. And I've done it too. So again, it shows me exactly about what I do to other people or have done to other people. And so it made me, and also this person is a type of person in my beliefs because of their zodiac sign that can easily point out what is wrong. So they will look at what is wrong because they are a type of person that fixes things. And so for you to be able to fix something, there has to be something wrong. And so I just know that that's that part of their personality. So I kind of let it go. It wasn't a big deal to me. I was like, whatever, this is just what they picked up and learned. But we have to be self-aware of these things to ourselves, like when you're doing it. I always say I observe my thoughts. I observe my actions. In the middle of me doing things, I'm also observing what I'm doing. Is this adding value to this other person's life, to anything, to my life? If it does not add value, then it's not worth doing, personally. Saying those comments didn't even make sense of why to say them, just to correct me. It just nothing of it made sense. It just made me feel like I was stupid. Not that they made me feel that way, but it was just another thing to be like, oh, I had that wrong. It just doesn't add value. So when you go throughout the day, when you're doing things or interacting with people, add a value to their day, whatever that is. Today, I tell y'all every morning I get up and I set intentions to basically, how am I going to affect somebody else's day in a positive way? When you're giving out, it adds so much value to your own life when you're trying to add value to others without being detrimental to yourself. And so, taking on big projects. I would fucking take on parties and financial things that I had no business doing, but these little things will help. So I went to the gym and I talked to the gym teacher and I was just friendly, no big deal. You just do that. I go to HEB and I have discovered at HEB that they have this whole section where it has like bulk spices, which, side note, this is amazing that they have bulk spices because I could get like turmeric, which I'm all about turmeric right now, for like nothing, for like 50 cents. I don't even think it was 50 cents. I think it was like 36 cents or some shit. So I'm in that section and this guy walks up. He's an older guy and I'm not like looking all hot or anything. I just look like me and he goes, "Good morning," like super happy. "Good morning." And I'm like, "Oh, good morning to you." And then I'm looking up this matcha tea or something like that. I don't know, but I've heard about it before. So I'm on my phone and I'm looking up and I just share it with him. I go, "Oh, I'm looking up this tea here. It has a lot of good benefits." And he was like, "Oh, it smells good." And we just make a connection. That's what I'm here for in life. That's what we're all here for in life, is to make a connection with people. And then I go over to the almond milk because I needed to get some almond milk. And there's a lady and she's kind of standing in front of it and there's coupons. And there's a couple people waiting. And as she's getting a coupon, I was like, "Oh, I think I'm going to get one of those coupons too." I say it out loud. And she goes, "Oh, I think I got the wrong coupon. I want to get this chocolate milk over here." And I was like, "Oh, I've never had that kind." And she was like, "Well, this is dark chocolate and it tastes a lot better." And then I started talking about, I've tried to give my son, almond chocolate milk, but he's too smart for that. And we just make a connection. She laughs. We go back and forth. These are all connections. These are all sharing love. These are all making somebody's day bigger. And they're little tiny things. And they all accumulate to bigger things. And I just wanted to share some story, add value to people's life. I want to add value. I text my friends, lots of my friends that are having difficulties or aren't having difficulties. I text them about planning, trips together. I text them about, encouraging them about themselves. I will text them videos that I find that I think will, really help their life. If I'm definitely one now, if people reach out to me, then I will help them. But if you're not reaching out to me and asking for my help, then I don't want to, because I found myself when I'm trying to help people that aren't trying to be helped, they don't want it. They didn't ask for my help. So I try not to do that. I try, if you come to me and go, "Hey, this is going on," I'm going to tell you, "Hey, these things worked for me. Maybe you should try them, see if they work." They may not, they may, but they changed my life. So I'm always trying to add value. If it's a text message, if it's a smile, if it's a conversation, if it's a little more on a tip, if it's holding open the door. I say this over and over: add value to other people's life because it adds so much value to your own life. But I hope y'all get something from this today. I like to just share stories of my life because I know we're all just living this game of life, and there's little tips and tricks you can do to keep yourself in a high vibe and to spread light and joy in every way. And I want to give you examples. So hope this resonates with somebody, and peace. Holla for a dollar.